They shouldn't be afraid of me, they should be afraid of you.
I'm Ted Gunderson, former head of the FBI in Southern California. Furnished considerable information to B.J. Wagener. If you want the full story, you want to know what's going on, watch B.J. Wagener.
Hi, welcome to On Second Thought. I'm Susan King, and the man you've been waiting for, the host of your show, Mr. William Wagener, the guy in the white hat, the good guy in the white hat.
Thank you, Susan. Taking off the white hat just for you people watching tonight. We want to remind you of some things. One is this book, U.S. versus Bush, by federal prosecutor Elizabeth de la Vega.
Currently on the bestsellers list, I believe, or getting up there.
Rising immediately after published, went to 33rd on the bestsellers list and rising rapidly. Probably by the time you see this, it'll be in the top 10 bestsellers. She is a federal prosecutor, and we're gonna go back to that clip where I interviewed her right now, and we'll be back after this clip with Elizabeth de la Vega.
Stay tuned.
A special interview with a lady that knows something about the law. She ought to, because she was a federal prosecutor for a lot of years, a couple of decades. Welcome with me, please, all of you. Welcome, Elizabeth de la Vega. Elizabeth de la Vega is a former federal prosecutor for more than 20 years of experience. She also was a member of the Organized Crime Strike Force and chief of the San Jose branch of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of California. Her pieces have appeared in The Nation, the Los Angeles Times, Salon, and she's a regular writer for TomDispatch.com. Welcome, Elizabeth. I'm so happy you are here. And
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. For our audience in Europe, for the Central Coast, for Nevada, wherever they're watching this, you wrote this book called the United States versus George Bush and all. Why? What drives a prosecutor? Usually, guys, you guys don't write books, you prosecute people.
Well, I certainly wouldn't be writing the book if I were still a prosecutor. But I took early retirement in 2004, and I finally had a chance to look at the way the media was covering the issue about the pre-war intelligence and whether the president had deceived the public about it. And I realized that I understood finally how it was that the administration had been able to fool the public, because the coverage that we had especially on TV, was so superficial. In fact, was little more than people shouting at each other. So I wanted to explain, I wanted to lay out the case for the public in a way that was kind of a non-charged atmosphere, just as you would have in a grand jury room, and allow the jurors, which would be the reader, of course, to analyze and evaluate the case based on the law in that kind of environment.
That's a big step for someone who usually just does their paperwork without any media attention.
Right, it definitely is. Well, to tell you the truth, when I set about doing this, I had no idea whether anybody would ever publish it at all. I started off doing the research, and I used the same techniques that I would use when I was doing a regular fraud case. In other words, I made two timelines, essentially, one of what happened behind the scenes and what they knew behind the scenes versus what the administration officials were saying and doing publicly. And I did that basically by myself at home, using the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence report and various other reports that have been declassified, but which really had more than enough information to enable us to know what the administration in turn had available to them behind the scenes. So it wasn't really until I'd been doing this for about 10 months that I actually had a book contract.
Serfs and slaves, if they don't know the truth, if we together don't search out the truth. This is William Wagener, thanking Elizabeth de la Vega, former federal prosecutor from San Jose, for being with us for this episode.
Thanks for having me.
Second Thought. Catch us next week, same time, same channel.
They shouldn't be afraid of me, they should be afraid of you. I'm a documentary filmmaker. I'm going after an Oscar. You're going after the entire system.